Good morning. Is that on? How's that? That's a little better. There we go. Good morning, y'all. Good to be gathering together on this colder Sunday morning. All of a sudden, it feels like. But I've had a great time. I hope other people have enjoyed the conversations that we've had about the prayers and maybe the lesser-known corners of the prayer book. And today we turn our attention to the hymnal, and we have brought in actual expertise. So Jackson has joined us so that we can sing a little bit of some of our favorite hymns, not limited to any particular season. There are no rules about you can't sing that because it's not Christmas yet. We're waiving all of that. It's just grace abounds for favorite hymns. Would one of you two gentlemen like to get us started with a favorite?
I'll be glad to. Actually, my wife Ruthie is watching online today, and her favorite hymn is 473, Lift High the Cross. And one reason for that is the official hymn of the Daughters of the King, and also it's just an amazing, I think, an amazing recessional hymn.
Yeah, she had already texted me to tell me that was going to be a chosen hymn. So that is 473. How many stanzas do you want to do? Okay, this is early. We're going to do 2 stanzas. If you don't sound very good, we're going to do 3.
Some of my favorites have a little bit of story behind them. Like, it's not just the song itself; it's like the context you remind. In Little Rock, we had Compline every Sunday evening. We had a simple spoken Eucharist on Sunday evening, and we had Compline afterwards with the lights darker and whatnot. And when I really realized that it was taking hold, even though there might only be 20 people at that service, that it was taking hold as a liturgy, as one of the liturgies people really made their own, was when a young couple who came, and he was actually a rock and roll musician, David was, they had a Compline wedding, and what that meant was the music was the Compline choir over in the side, in the transept, and it was dimly lit, and they walked into a cappella, page 487, Come My Way, My Truth, My Life. Which is one of my favorite hymns also because it's a George Herbert text. So a great poet writes text for a hymn. So this is to David and Kelly Slade, who Kelly came into this, and it was really astonishing, you know.
Cool. How many of you know this hymn?
Y'all know that hymn?
Okay, you're going to get to learn it then. We will do it. We'll do all 3 stanzas because you have to for the poetry to work. we sing it. Did you see how many notes you got on the word kill?
Yes.
Okay, so against my better judgment, I'm going to sing and play. Did y'all see Barry Manilow on TV the other night, his Christmas special? He's 81 years old. He sounds great. But I'm not Barry Manilow. So don't expect much, okay? So that last line is going to go, killeth death. Beginning. Come my way, my truth, my life, such a way as gives us breath, such a truth as ends all strife, such a life as giveth death. Come my way, peace, my strength, such a life that shows of peace, such a peace that ends as death, such a strength as makes its end. Come my joy of my heart, such a joy as none can move, such a love as none can guard, such a heart as joys in
Thanks for humoring me.
All right. Your turn. Who's got a hymn? Yes. Paige has been ready. She was ready last week. Here, you tell the story a little bit.
Okay, this one is page, I think it's 594. God of Grace and God of Glory. It was written by Harry Emerson Fosdick, who was a pastor, and I think it was written in the 30s. And when I was in medical school, I went to a liberal branch of the Conservative Church of Christ in Brookline, Massachusetts, and a member of the congregation could sign up to plan the order of service and pick out the songs and scriptures and the order and everything. So we just sitting there Sunday after Sunday, it seemed like God of Grace and God of Glory, we sang practically every Sunday. So it was kind of an unofficial theme song. And what I liked the most about it, the last two lines, grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour, for the facing of this hour. And grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the living of these days, for the living of these days. And I think it resonates now as well as it did in the 30s.
And especially, I mean, we're going to sing 1 and 3 because I love the third stanza of this. And that refrain, grant us wisdom. I remember being in college and there were some tough times, and that would just be my litany. Grant us wisdom for the facing of this hour.
a funny one, but we can't sing it because it's not in this, the words are in this hymn, but the tune isn't.
What is it?
It's Jesus Calls Us O'er the Tumult, and it's the second tune of the old hymnal. But
You tell the story, then we'll
I
sing
was about 6 or 7 in Shreveport, and we sang it all the time, and I didn't know what a tumult was. And so I thought it maybe was one of those long horns that people call over. So I pictured Jesus up on the cliff with his tumult, and here was life's wild restless sea below, and I was on the other side, and I was supposed to swim over and follow Jesus. And I thought it was a really tall order. I mean, still a tall order, with or without the tumult and the restless sea.
Was that written by the same person who did the one about the shepherds washing their socks by night?
Yeah. Washington, yeah, probably. But it's the second tune of the old hymnal.
What number is it in our hymnal, the new one? What's the words?
Jesus calls us.
I know, I was trying to look it up. I looked up the number, and of course, as soon as I looked it up, I forgot it. Because there are 2 different tunes in our hymnal. 549. I looked up 459, no wonder.
Yeah, the words are in here, but it's the wrong tune.
In my previous parish, now, some of you may know, I grew up as a Methodist. I even worked at a Methodist church here in Memphis for several years. And so I know that tune. I know that. So at my last parish, the first time this text came up, I thought, oh, no one knows that. Oh, I mean, so I'm going to play what's in the hymnal, right? So I played this, which was in the hymnal, in our hymnal, which I thought was pretty peppy. Nice and peppy, right? There was one man who was so mad in the congregation, he slammed his hymnal shut, slammed it into the pew, and left the service. And that's when I thought, what have I come into? Because this is the hymn he expected to sing. We'll do the first 2 stanzas of it. One more stanza.
Just pointing out that the tune, though, the guy hated is a southern shape note tune, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of different stuff in this.
I didn't play the other tune in our hymnal, which is... Can you imagine what he would have done if I'd played that one? I didn't even finish it. I don't want to.
Okay, I'm going to be brave. 293, I sing a song of the saints of God. Somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say a little something about it.
Oh, well, this is sort of the St. Mary's national anthem. And I think there are enough of us in here to justify way too many times. I still love it.
I love it too.
I went to a Presbyterian funeral the other day, and they sang it. It's in their hymnal. I didn't think anything but us weirdness.
It's also in the Methodist hymnal, too.
we're talking about Methodists, we're a whole row of, this is a row of former Methodists right here, all three of us. And Kate, yeah, well, yeah, we don't go that close. Go right here. But Katie's dad was a Methodist minister and grandfather. My grandfather was a Methodist minister, and Al was raised Methodist before we all ended up here. But we're here now, and that's great. But I do get real excited when we sing Wesley hymns. So I like 493. It's kind of like a...
493.
I mean, this is like the Methodist national anthem. It's usually number one in every Methodist hymnal, except in the 1935 hymnal, Holy, Holy, Holy was number one. But the useless stuff that I can remember, you know, the original hymn that he wrote had like 28 stanzas. Yeah. Wesley was very prolific when it came to that.
To say something about that one, then I'm just saying we sang that at my mom's funeral as well, and Mom had MS, and MS will take not just your ability to walk, but your sight. And so that line of hear him, ye deaf, ye voiceless ones, your loosened tongues employ, ye blind, behold your Savior comes, and leap ye lame for joy, has always been my image of Mom being made whole. So thanks.
I love 112 at Christmas, but since it's a long one, can we just do the last two verses? 112.
Since you said ask so nicely, yes.
Thank you.
Because I think the last two verses.
Because the last verse is the one that's really
beautiful.
Yeah.
Christina Rossetti.
Some more poets writing hymns here.
Going to suggest 690, but we've already sung that tune. I just love that, which is Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah. But I like Duke Street, and I know that my Redeemer lives, and I don't know if That is in this hymnal.
It is.
Yes. And when my mother died, I didn't play the whole service, but I remember playing this as one of the preludes before.
What's the page number?
I don't know the page.
Is it not in there? Oh my goodness, it's not in there.
But the tune Duke Street is 544, Jesus shall reign where the sun.
Well, we'll just do that one then.
Do y'all non-musicians know the tunes have names? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. A lot of people might not know if you came from another. But the tune has a name. You can look up the tune. The text has an author. It's just, I didn't know that until I backslid into this tradition.
544.
It's interesting thinking about the resonance with the tunes and the resonance with the words, and it's an occasion for every preacher's favorite reminder that nobody walks out humming the sermon. People walk out humming the song. So, a reminder. Who else has got a hymn? Yeah.
It's more of a... I actually just kind of need to hear the song. So I grew up at Second Baptist in East Memphis, across the street from probably some of you Holy Communion transplants. It was not a Southern Baptist church. It was Cooperative Baptist, or at one point became Cooperative Baptist. But anyways, I was like, I'm going to see if Majesty's in the hymn book. It's not. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Majesty, worship His Majesty.
It's in the Methodist hymnal.
It's
The
so
Methodist
Baptist.
hymnal has everything from Pange Lingua to this little.
Well,
light.
so I Googled, I'm sitting here and I Googled, are there any crossover hymns? And emphatically, Google said no. But,
Well-
because I was thinking about the Methodist people, but the 693 might be the closest I can quickly come to, and I just want to hear it just to see if it selfishly takes me back to
That's so funny when you said you were.
roots.
This hymn gets a lot of bad rap because of ministers that will, say every head bowed, every eye closed. Any of y'all been to a revival? Oh. Preach. And so they would do that, and they would sing it over and over again until that somebody would finally come down the aisle.
Oh, then I will feel it. So go ahead.
That's right. But listen, these words are they're fabulous words. I'm glad we agree on that. So, which ones are we going to do?
Whatever you want.
Well, I can sing the first two from memory, so let's just go ahead and do the first two.
Okay.
that scratch.
I restrained myself from walking down the aisle.
I think it's a great hymn during communion.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect.
This is one, I don't actually know if it's Methodist or Presbyterian, but I remember singing it at my mom and my mother's funeral, and sitting next to my mom and just crying and singing it. It's here twice, 687 or 688, A Mighty Fortress. I don't know which one is the more.
Lutheran hymn.
Okay, well, we sang it at my Presbyterian grandmother's funeral.
Well, I think this one has been adopted by pretty much every.
It's the fight song of John Brown University in Northwest Arkansas. I'll tell you. Fight means.
So just for fun, we're going to sing both of these settings. It's the same tune, but the rhythm is different. So let's sing verse 1 to 688, and then we're going to go back to 687 and sing verse 2. I know. I'm putting a lot on y'all. Right here at Christmas, y'all are probably tired anyway. Okay, now just listen to the other page. Try that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Almighty fortresses are God, our Lord never fails. Our leading with the flood, our mortal wills prevail. For still our legend doth sing to the gospel is heaven See, originally, this was like a dance tune. Remember, who was it written by? Do you remember? Martin Luther. Okay, good. Martin Luther was the one that said, "Why should the devil have all the good tunes?" Or at least they attribute it to him. We're not going to debate that. So anyway, he wrote this thing bright and peppy and everything, but then Bach came along, and you know, Bach was just so beautiful and so cerebral, and he straightened it out and made it smooth for us all to be able to sing, even us Episcopalians.
I'm going to guess the first one was the fight song tune.
No. That's the Bach.
Oh, yeah.
So you can imagine the sloshing steins to this first one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Charles was next.
Hymn 661. I like it because it was composed right down the road in Greenville, Mississippi. Plus, I like the words a lot.
Cast their nets in Galilee. next two stanzas because this poem tells a story.
Number 8. Oh, I just love it.
That's all, okay.
Sometimes that's all you need. I remember the Cat Stevens introduction. I just can't play it all.
He's trained.
Neither is Spirit in the Sky.
I really want to pick a Christmas one, but first can we do 686? When I first came to the Episcopal Church, this was the song that was played at St. Margaret's for communion like every week, and so we knew it really well, but it was played with the guitar and drums and really kind of a bluesy kind of feel to it. Anyway, so I've always loved it. It was really fun.
That sounds like a challenge to me, to play it bluesy. I don't know.
I'm not B.B. King. But I will try to do it a little less straight than John.
Okay, I chose
Wait.
that.
Oh, no, I have a question about this hymn. And before you move, so if somebody from another denomination, because I'm a lifer, and so I don't, what is the Ebenezer line?
Here I raise mine Ebenezer. It's the stone that was stacked. Well, You answer.
No, you go ahead. I knew it was a stone. I wanted to get that in.
Was it Joshua? Which story was raised after the... It was one of those stacked up stone stories. Do y'all remember, Tim? You remember
Didn't we
which one
just
it was?
read that in that book?
Yeah. Yeah, that was going to say, yeah, here I raised my Ebenezer. I was going to mention that, actually, about this one. The other one is I suggested this, Robin, to your Advent, the Sufjan Stevens version, to your Advent playlist for Calvary, so that's just a little advertisement for Robin's Advent Spotify playlist from Calvary.
When I was a child at Bunton Presbyterian Church, and they sang this song a whole lot, and it was, "Here I raise my Ebenezer." And in my childish mind, I associated that with this old man who on some occasion sat up on the pulpit, and he had this long, long white beard that came, and somehow that was about the Ebenezer. I didn't know what it was.
Just the Scrooge reference is all I had to work on. So yeah, yes.
We were at least in church singing.
I'm probably one of the only people in the room that doesn't really like Episcopal music. I know. Dun, dun, dun. I come raised Episcopal from birth. My mother was Episcopal, and she passed away when I was pretty young. And she was an opera singer, and she would sing in the choir every Sunday. And I'll probably be Episcopal until I die because of my mother. But when she sang at Easter, she was the first soprano, and she would love to belt out the descants to like all of the Episcopal Easter songs. And even to this day, I get choked up on Easter when we sing hymn 207 because I can hear her. I can hear her voice like in the church ring out, and her. It's just this beautiful, loud, joyful kind of chaotic vibrato that just really speaks to my heart. And so 207 has always been like really important to me. Even though all Episcopal music is great, I just really find myself in contemporary Christian music that was written a little bit closer to the 2000s. But 207 is just it's the bomb.
Thanks for sharing the story.
We're going to sing the first and the last stanza of this.
Are there any sopranos to do the descant for us?
If there are, they should be a choir right now. But if not, I mean, they can still sing the descant. So 207, 1 and 4.
Have you done 488 yet? Be Thou My Vision? Well, there we go.
You want to say?
It's just a whole life story.
Let me get there.
488.
It's, there.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'm going to give everybody a first dib, and then we'll come back for after seconds.
So we were talking about Wesley before and Oh for a Thousand Tongues, and that's always been one of my favorites. And then going back to Bree's Easter hymn, Wesley wrote several verses to that, and those are the ones that I actually grew up with, so the language is a little bit different. But by far, I think Wesley's greatest hymn was Hark the Herald Angels Sing, 87.
87? 87.
Interesting thing about Wesley's writing of that, the original, or the first tune that they sang that to was this. Yeah. And the 64 Methodist hymnal had that tune and Hark the Herald, the Mendelssohn tune that we know. So anyway, that's another, I love the text on this one. And it just tickles me that you can walk through a department store and hear such great theology coming out of the speakers. And everyone is just unaware. Except for Charlie Brown and Linus.
Can I make an odd request? Can we sing my song last? So to me, Christmas doesn't start, or Christmas, we go Christmas Eve and Christmas doesn't start until we all walk out singing Joy to the World. So can we sing that last?
Sure. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to Joy to the World. Maybe actually, is anybody who's not requested? Yes. We'll get some people before we get seconds.
My request is 109, the first Noel. Because for me, Christmas, we'd often go to a cottage in the north of England, which is in sheep country, We'd go to a tiny church in the Dale called St James the Less, which was so small that it only had one service a month. And it didn't have an organ, so the local brass band would come and play. So it was always very poignant hearing Christmas carols played by a brass band, surrounded by shepherds who were actually in their Wellingtons, because it was in the middle of farming country. So this always speaks to me for Christmas.
So 109, you want to give us some verses, Jackson?
That's what I'm looking at. I mean, we're going to do the first two verses. Since we haven't quite gotten to Christmas yet, we won't go all the way into the story about the star and the wise people. Okay.
109. Sorry, 109 verses 1 and 2.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
I think we can do one more before Crady's. So is anyone not? Oh, good.
Hello.
Hello. Right in.
Because of the state of our country being in, it is what it is now, and well, what it could very well become, this particular hymn, I think, helps us to really refocus where we need to be, and that's hymn number 599.
Oh, good. I have a page turn in this one. And we're just going to do one stanza because it's a long hymn. I have played it before.
All right, back to 100, hymn 100.
Okay, let's do 1, 3, and 4. 3 can be left out, but I like.
This is one my mother-in-law used to say should not only be sung at Christmas.
It's not really a
There's
Christmas.
no reason why this should only be sung at Christmas.
Right.
So big thanks to y'all for choosing these wonderful hymns. Big thanks to Jackson. Thank you for being accompanist on a hot seat and just making it happen. And I also just love that we are, as we move gradually and in stages into these new spaces, that we have filled this particular room with song today. So I thank you for that gift. And I love knowing some of your favorites. So we'll see you in church and we'll keep singing.
That was fun.
We need to do this again.